It's nice to have you with us this year.
Glad to be here.
Let's talk a little bit about this game, Lebanon versus Riverdale. The Blue Devils coming off of a 27-0 shutout against Mount Juliet last week. Riverdale 0-1, lost to Dixon County, the defending Class AAA state champions, by a score of 37-12. It's 34-12 last week. That was a game in which the Cougars ran up a 21-0 first half lead, and the Warriors played the Cougars pretty evenly the rest of the way. Riverdale running a wing T offense. We figure to see a lot of running back Barry Sanders. Sanders, who had a big game against the Blue Devils a year ago. Lebanon countering with the running of Juan A. Jennings and Cyrus Hancock. This game sponsored by Liberty State Bank, by Wilson Farmers Co-op, Save a Lot, First Bank and Trust, Chums, and the Fashion Boutique. We'll be back for the opening kickoff right after this. At Jones Field, the campus of MTSU. This for Lebanon, the first of 3 games on artificial turf. Of course, tonight, and then in week number 5 at Clarksville up at Austin Peay, and then in week 10 at Tennessee Tech against Cookeville. Set to kick off for Riverdale, number 68, Jarrett Millsaps. Back deep for Lebanon, Juan A. Jennings, number 33, back at his own 7. Kick is off. Jennings has it from his 8. He tries the left side across the 30 and down to the 33. Where Lebanon will set up first down and 10. Checking out the Lebanon offense, quarterback Jim Brindley leads the Blue Devils up. His fullback, number 30, Rod Crutchfield, and the return man, number 33, Juan A. Jennings, is at tailback. The speedy Cyrus Hancock opens at a slot back. Kevin Huddleston, number 45, is the split in. Richard Moscardelli opens at tight end. Jeff Vaught and Jody Ambrose are the tackles. Chris O'Neill and Brian Harvey, the guards, and Norman Summers is the center. First down and 10 Blue Devils, ball just across the Lebanon 33. Jennings, left side. Gets down to about the 37.
Looks like Jennings did a good job of getting outside. Had a good block on the outside by the end. Looks like on the end over there, and Jennings did a good job getting around that and going around the outside.
And checking out the Riverdale defense, the defensive ends, number 86, Russ Hicks, and number 85, Chris Kuykendall. The tackles are Lamont Watson and Junior Nelson. Watson wearing number 75 and Nelson number 73. The nose guard is number 76, Kenneth James. Second down and 5 on the play from the 38. Brindley looking over the line. Jennings again. Off right tackle. Stopped after a gain of about 1.
Looks like Riverdale's having problems with the 2 receivers that are set up here on the near side. They can't get their defensive back set the way they want them to, and I think that's upsetting Riverdale. They're having some trouble getting their defensive backfield set up.
Spence Slater, number 45, making the tackle, and he's not listed as a starter. The starting linebackers, number 55, Tommy Johnson, number 53, Randy Ross. The cornerbacks are Bryant Smith and Torrance Burge. The strong safety, number 34, Chris Fishback, and the free safety is Barry Sanders. Third down and about 4. Jennings, left tackle, has the first down at about the 45. He hit a big surge at about the 44 and just pushed the pile back for about a yard to ensure the first down.
You were talking earlier about Lebanon really working on throwing the passes in practice. They seem to be running it right now. Maybe they're waiting for something to open up.
Well, Mark Medley's always been a run-oriented coach, and if the run is working, he'll usually stick with it.
Of course, you got to remember Jennings had 16 rushes for 152 yards last week against Mount Juliet. He's got a backfield.
Speaking of Jennings, he gets the call here around the left side. Doesn't get much, however.
Good job of covering that run by Riverdale. They really got over there very well, got through the offensive line and made a good play.
Tommy Johns, number 55, linebacker, making the stop. Ball at the 45, a pickup of 1, second down and 9. First possession of the game, approaching the 10-minute mark of the first quarter. Kevin Huddleston split to the right. Cyrus Hancock in the slot to the right side. This time, Rod Crutchfield, the fullback, gets to about the 49. And on the stop for Riverdale, Kenneth James, the nose guard, number 76. So early on, Lebanon keeping it on the ground, going right at the middle of the Riverdale defense. Friendly swing pass. Corey Bueller. I'm sorry, that's Clay Bueller. Doesn't get much. Gets it just across the midfield. Tackle made by the cornerback, number 12, Torrance Burge.
Bueller really didn't have much of a chance there. He kind of got the nice pass, but he really didn't have anywhere to run when he got the ball. He was kind of stuck. Good coverage by Riverdale on that play.
Brings up a 3rd down and 3. That pass looked like it might have been behind the line, and Bueller may have had the option to throw, but of course if the defense was too close to him, that wouldn't have been a good idea.
Riverdale did a nice job getting on that play. They really picked it up. Looked like they picked it up really early.
But it's a 4th down and 3, so Jim Brindley back to punt.
End over end.
And it's going to bounce a while on this turf and takes a Lebanon hop down to about the 19-yard line, where Riverdale will set up shop for the first time. Torrance Burge, number 12, will call the shots at quarterback. Out of the wing T, the fullback is number 35, Scott Daniel. 2 tailbacks, number 7, Bryant Smith, and number 1, Barry Sanders. 2 ends, one of them is number 2, Corey Avant, and the tight end, number 86, Russ Hicks. The tackles, number 68, Jarrett Millsaps, number 75, Lamont Watson. The guards, number 65, Mark Rowland, and number 55, Tommy Johns. The center, number 51, Jimbo Daniel.
Here we get to look at that wing T.
And it looks like a wishbone formation.
You might understand Riverdale used a lot of misdirection out of it, and they wait till the very last minute before they make the final play on it.
And Smith gets the call from where he switched out to a slot back, and the tackle made by Sonny Wormuth. And Smith tries the left side and gets it out to about the 24.5-yard line. So pick up a 5 on the play, 2nd down and 5. Defensively for the Blue Devils, Sonny Wormuth, one of the defensive ends, number 36. On the other end, number 86, Richard Moscardelli. The tackles, number 76, Kevin Douglas, and number 77, Jody Ambrewster. Dwayne C., number 35, anchors the line from his nose tackle spot. Rod Crutchfield and Brian Johnson are the linebackers. 2nd down and 5 for the Warriors. Again, it's Brian Smith picks up a couple.
Earlier this week, Lebanon assistant Ron Marshall said that the wing T was built in false keys that can drive a defense crazy. Looks like that Lebanon's handling this very well so far.
Well, of course, on the first play, I mentioned they looked like it was a wishbone formation. Then Smith moved out to a sort of a slot back on the right side, and then he got the ball. So that's one of the tricks they'll play on you.
If Lebanon can react and they can find the football, I think they should do pretty good.
3rd down and 2 from the 32, and again, there's the shift. Smith over to a slot back position. Now we'll see if he moves. No, this is Barry Sanders, his first carry. He breaks loose and hauled down by Jonathan Haas, the strong safety, but not before Sanders gets a first down. Mentioning the Lebanon secondary, Haas, the strong safety. The free safety is number 45, Kevin Huddleston, and the cornerbacks, Cyrus Hancock and Marcus Stewart. The ball at the 32. 1st and 10 Riverdale. 6:18 to play first quarter. Lebanon has had a possession. Got a first down, but nothing more. Now Riverdale with its first down, mounting a drive, or at least trying to. Riverdale looks like a wishbone, but now Smith moves out to a slot back spot. Burge gives to Barry Sanders. Rod Crutchfield on many Lebanon defenders there to stuff it after maybe a 1-yard pickup.
Lebanon not fooled by that play at all. They really were there, found the ball, and they made a good play on that ball.
And a pickup of, looks like less than half a yard. The ball just inside the Riverdale 32 with 5.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Calling signals at the line of scrimmage. This is Brian Smith. He's going to throw back to Verge, and he's going to run it. Flips past Huddleston. I'm sorry, not Huddleston. That's Marcus Stewart. Finally forced out of bounds by Rod Crutchfield and Juan A. Jennings. The ball to the 44. That's a situation there where Lebanon was fooled by the Riverdale ship.
Riverdale did a nice job, really kicked it around, and Lebanon's defense was switched to the far side. Riverdale switched it back to the near side and really did a good job of getting around there.
Smith in a slot to the right side. And he gets it again. Finally hauled down by Brian Johnson, the linebacker, at midfield. So Riverdale on its opening possession, moving the ball nicely down the field, but a flag is down. The ball is at the 50, but a flag down at the 47, and it's holding against Riverdale, so they'll bring that one back.
Holding the call against Riverdale.
Clock stopped at 4:57. That's nice. Last week at Mount Juliet, there was a penalty in the first quarter, and the clock continued to run. Riverdale will get it at the 36. Still first down.
So far here in the first 7 minutes, looks like that if the game's going to be won, it's going to be one that offensive and defensive line. They're really banging at each other right now.
Well, most football games are won on the lines anyway. First down and 18. Burge looks like he's going to throw it for the first time. And it's incomplete. Russ Hicks, the tight end, one of the Riverdale receivers, the other, Bryant Smith. Riverdale does not pass the ball often, but with their speed, last year they got some mileage out of a split end by the name of Kurt Watkins. Caught several passes deep against Lebanon. Watkins has since graduated. That now brings up a second down and 18 for the Warriors. Smith has it. He comes in motion. Marcus Stewart, number 28, one of the cornerbacks, coming up to make the stop. Smith gets it across the 35 to the 36. Bring up a third down.
Looks like he lost some yardage on that one.
Looks like you're right about that. It's at the 36.
Looks like he lost a yard.
So third down and 19. They have to get it to the Lebanon 46 for a first down. Clock ticking down to 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Now Corey Abant splits out wide to the left, one of the ends. He'll line up as a split end occasionally. It looks like that may have been the fullback that time, Scott Daniel, with the carry. He didn't get very far.
It's back to the line of scrimmage. Met there by Kevin Douglas.
Kevin Douglas on one of those on the stop for Lebanon. Fourth down and 19 for Riverdale. So Lebanon will send its punt return unit back. Sonny Warmoth and Cyrus Hancock back deep.
Hancock, the speedster of the two, can run. He's got great speed.
Kick is away, a line drive right to Hancock at the 27. It's a block from Warmoth. Hancock trying the left side, and is brought down at the 35. So Lebanon will have his second offensive possession from that point with 2:48 to play in the first quarter.
Cyrus Hancock on the return to the 35-yard line.
Hancock got a good block by Warmoth on the play, but he needed one more block on the far side to get around to the outside. Wasn't there, couldn't get it.
Credit Riverdale with covering that punt very well. Hancock now slotted to the left on first down, and give to the fullback Crutchfield, gets out to the 36. It's tripped up there. They spotted at the 37. They'll bring up a second down and 8. Junior Nelson, the defensive tackle on the stop for the Warriors. Riverdale, head coached by Dean Fisher. His assistants are Ron Crawford, Tom Nolan, Brad Tackett, and Gary Whaley. Brenly, Jennings to the 40. There to finish him off, Kevin Herron, number 25.
Gets up to the 40-yard line.
Bring up a third down and 5. Lebanon has yet to throw the ball. We might see a pass now. Kevin Huddleston comes out of the lineup. Corey Bueller into the game. Burnley did throw a swing pass to Bueller. That might well have been a lateral. Third down and 5. A minute 14 to play in the first quarter. Fake to Crutchfield. Brinley pitches back to Jennings, and he's in trouble. Pulled down well behind the line of scrimmage. He tried to stay alive as long as he could. Finally there to help finish him off, number 32, Adam Wright. Seemed to be slow developing from the start.
Looked like Brinley did a good job. He was stuck, and he knew it, so he just pitched it real quick, and not much happened to that one.
Well, he faked to Crutchfield, and it looked like he was going to throw over the middle, and just maybe the pass wasn't there, so then he pitched back to Jennings, and well, Jennings back there about 4 Warriors, and he stood there as long as he could.
Nowhere to go.
4th and 6, Jim Brinley to punt. Kick is away. It's going to roll. And a nice stop. 49, Reggie Carter down to bring down the return man.
Carter did a nice job getting back there and getting to the football and playing the man instead of playing the ball.
Cliff Ames, the receiver, number 81. He just got the ball. He was out practically in the open. And Carter just hauled him down one-on-one. So Riverdale backed up on its own 18-yard line, 1st and 10. May not have a play before the end of the quarter. Clock ticking down, 10 seconds remaining. Lebanon's coaches, head coach Mark Medley, his assistants Ron Marshall, Larry Grissom, Randall Hutto, and Bob Dillard, and we'll wait for the second quarter to resume action. No score at MTSU. 1 quarter of action, Lebanon and Riverdale. We'll be back for the second quarter right after this. And going absolutely nowhere, number 35, fullback Scott Daniel. The front of the Lebanon defense right there, led by nose guard Dwayne C. Well, that's twice in a row Riverdale's tried the fullback straight ahead. Of course, the fullback lined up so close to the quarterback, I guess he's almost hidden behind the quarterback. But in that case, Lebanon's defense right there to stop the run.
No place to go. Just running into a wall.
Second down and 10. Smith slotted out to the right side now from a halfback. And Smith gets the call behind the left side. Picks up 1 or 2. Warmoth there on the stop for Lebanon. Bring up a 3rd down and 9. If you're hearing some jazz in the background, it is not any of the bands here. For some reason, our equipment is picking up a radio station. We don't know where, and we apologize for the inconvenience. Hopefully you can hear us in the game action over it. Who knows, Chris, if this game becomes a blowout in the 4th quarter, we may just step aside and listen to the music. 10 and a half minutes to play in the first half. 3rd down and 11 for Riverdale. Torrance first, the quarterback. And it's his fullback who gets the calls. That is not Daniel. That's number 34, Chris Fishback. Gets it out to the 21-yard line.
Picked up 4. It'll be 4th down. Looks like we're in for a defensive struggle. Nobody really moving the ball or making a big play on offense. Looks like the defense is really doing the big jobs.
Sonny Warmoth and Cyrus Hancock back deep for the Blue Devils. I haven't yet figured out who's punting for Riverdale. Okay, 24, Paul McFarland. Riverdale's number sometimes hard to pick up, those thick numerals. Kick is away. It's a line driver, and Warmoth has it from his 46. Gets a block. Is across midfield, still alive. Down to the Riverdale 46.
Looked like Warmoth picked up those last 4 yards on just pure power. He really had to fight for it, and he had two Riverdale men on him and really fought for the last 4 yards there. Did a nice job.
It was like a mouse in a maze looking for the cheese, swerving here and there. But that was Sean Williams, number 36, on the stop for the Warriors. Lebanon with its best field position of the night, certainly its best starting field position in Riverdale territory at the 46. Kevin Huddleston will split wide to the right. Cyrus Hancock slotted to the right side. Lebanon out of the I formation. Give us to Rye Crutchfield. Has a hole in the open in the first down territory to the Riverdale 32. On the stop for Riverdale, number 45, Spence Swader. That's Lebanon's best running play of the night. 9 minutes to play in the first half.
Crutchfield, a big guy, 6'2", 222, just ran over a couple of the Warriors there, picked up his own yardage right there. Nice job. Crutchfield really didn't do a lot against Mount Juliet. Only hit 3 rushes, though, for 9 yards.
Of course, Crutchfield doesn't usually carry the ball that many times anyway. He blocks for the tailback.
At 222 pounds, I'm not surprised.
He'll do some now for Juan A. Jennings. It doesn't help. 3 Warriors are back there to smother him. Behind the line of scrimmage, led by number 55, Tommy Johns. Also number 45, Spence Swader. The loss to the 33. Second down and 11. You a Jazz fan, Chris?
Sorry. Not quite.
Good being Jazz. I have an idea. I think I know which station it may be, and we're not very far from it, but I probably better not say. 7:55 to play in the first half. Cyrus Hancock, the first time he's seen the ball, and broke out of a tackle for more, and loses the ball. Riverdale has it. Hancock was popped hard. Looked like he bounced away from it, and that might have been when he lost the football.
Looked more like maybe a trouble with the exchange between Brindley and Hancock. He just maybe never got the handle on it from when Brindley gave it to him.
Well, that's the first time Lebanon has used that play tonight, and that's a play that worked very well against Mount Juliet last week. Know that Riverdale saw that, added defense very well that time. So Riverdale has it first down at the 35 with 7:40 to play in the first half.
That right there could very well be a big play in this game, the way it's going right now.
Give us to Brian Smith and Sonny Warmoth there. Got him before he could turn upfield. A good fake by Furge, the quarterback. A 1-yard pickup to the 37. Second down and 9.
On the tackle, Sonny Warmoth and Kevin Douglas.
And as a receiver, Cliff Ames for Riverdale, split to the right side on second down and 9. Burge out. He throws to Ames, and who makes the catch at the 41, caught in the open field by number 9, Jonathan Haas. Good play by Haas, an open field tackle. Looked like the pass was thrown just a little bit behind Ames, so he had to gather in the ball, which he should do before he could turn and head upfield. And that gave Haas time to make the stop.
Haas put a good lick on him. Haas, a 5'10", 175-pound senior. He's a strong safety. Put a nice lick on him.
The ball at the 41. The clock stopped with 6:28 to play, so I'm not sure what the...
Kind of timeout of some kind.
Neither of the teams called one, and there's no flag, so now we're getting started.
Looks like the officials called a timeout for some reason.
Third down, 5. down, escapes a tackle or two, makes some positive yardage out across the 45. Escaped the arms of several tacklers, but there's a flag on the play, and it came down immediately, holding against Riverdale.
Give credit to Verge. He really showed that he could get out of a tough situation. Did a nice job getting out of there.
Now the question is, he's very close to a first down. Do they take the play and have fourth and short, or do they take the penalty and really back him up, make it third and long? Even if he didn't make the first down on the play, it would be fourth and less than a yard, so they're going to back him up and make it third down and double-figure yardage. Back at the 29. Third down and 16. A long 16. 5:55 to play. Now Barry Sanders is slotted to the right side from a wingback spot. Pitch back to Smith. Quick kick. No Blue Devil inside. It rolls out of bounds at the 38-yard line. So Lebanon got a break because if that had stayed in play, it could have rolled another 10 to 12 yards. And Bird seemed like he was stumbling coming out from behind center on the pitch.
Okay. Interesting play. Shocked me.
Well, it's not a bad play, really. If you're third down and long and you don't have much of a passing game and you're not getting big yards on the running play, cross them up with a quick kick. And if the ball hadn't gone out of bounds when it did, Lebanon could possibly really been buried.
Looked like it would have rolled. Could have been down inside the 10. If it had looked like it had a good spin on it. Looks like it could have taken it out.
And the artificial turf is really nothing, no bumps or anything really to stop the ball.
Earlier we were down on the field before the game, and it's a really spongy turf, real soft. Could have rolled a long time.
It's just the second year this turf has been down. Ryan Crutchfield on the carry, breaks some tackles, gets it to the 43. Tackle made by Kevin Herring. At least he has part of the tackle.
Crutchfield again using his big size to get some yardage.
Mentioning the turf there, that's a turf laid down just before the start of last season. So it's a new turf and it's very bright. A couple of years ago you would have come here and it's just a really dull color. Of course you can see how brightly the numbers are, and of course the Middle Tennessee football helmet. A couple of years ago it was really dull looking, just faded.
Very nice looking field.
Juan A. Jennings to the 45. Spence Swader, number 45, finishes off Jennings. Bring up a third down and third. 4.5 minutes to play in the first half. Go ahead, Chris.
Swader come in with that linebacker position, made a nice play. Made a nice tackle for Riverdale.
Meantime for Lebanon, Mark Skeen leaves the game. He's a tight end. Mark Medley rotating his tight ends, and he'll send in 2 or 3.
Looks like he's rotating Moscadelli and Skeen both.
Right now, Moscardelli is the tight end to the right side. Clay Bueller split out to the left side. This is Crutchfield straight ahead to the 48. And that could be enough for a first down. It looks like it would be. They're going to measure it. They'll clear the players out of the way. Artificial turf is such, you can see the seams. You almost don't need chains.
Riverdale High School appreciates the support of the Sonic Tribe and Coca-Cola Company and would like to thank them for donating the miniature football.
We got 3:52 left here in the second quarter. We've played almost 2 cold quarters. We haven't seen really a big play. We saw a big play by Jennings when he broke a couple tackles and picked up a few yards, and that's been about it. We've seen a really defensive football game here. Not really what you expected coming in here.
Meantime, a little bit of offense. Lebanon picking up a first down at the Riverdale 48. Well, the last time Lebanon played Riverdale here, it was a defensive game. It was a game with really Riverdale with some big people up front that year. Really wore Lebanon out to a line of scrimmage. They had 3 or 4 drives inside the 20, but each time they'd lose it on penalties or turnovers. Lebanon just had 1 drive and they cashed it in.
Andy, it's gonna be 4th down and short. They didn't quite get it.
Now it's a first down. Juan A. Jennings well in the first down territory at the Riverdale 45.
Offensive line looked like they got a nice hole there for him, and he just went right into there.
To the 45-yard line, first and 10 for the Blue Devils.
Of course, course, the Blue Raiders on the road this weekend up at East Tennessee State, playing in a dome up there. Now, probably not too many people realize there is a dome stadium in the state of Tennessee, and it's up in Johnson City, and the Blue Raiders will be playing there tonight. Back over in the next booth, and Dick Palmer calling this game, and he's going to be on the road starting about right now, driving up to Johnson City. Now, Brindley brought down from behind. 3 Warriors in on the stop, including number 55, Tommy Johns. The loss back into Lebanon territory at the 46.
Brindley looked like he wanted to throw, wanted to hit Bueller. Bueller was back there, but he had about 3 Warriors back there with him. Riverdale did a nice job of covering him, and really gave Brindley nowhere to go. He had nothing to do but really just eat it.
Bring up a second down and 20, clock ticking to 2:41 to play. Mentioning 2 years ago, Lebanon here. Well, last year, I'm sure everybody remembers when Lebanon was here to take on Oakland. That was a game that was probably the top game in the state that night. That was a defensive struggle as well between 2 top 10 teams. Of course, Lebanon coming into this one ranked number 4 in the action ratings. Jennings pitch to the right side. Has some room. Now cuts back inside and brought down by number 7, Bryant Smith. I'm not sure if he slipped. Looked like he had room to the outside, then trying to cut back inside, and I'm not sure if he didn't buckle under there.
Looked like he was trying to cut back. Looked like he wanted to make a quick stop and then turn around and cut back towards the inside. Looked like he just lost his footing and slipped right there at midfield and was brought down.
Blue Devils back in Riverdale territory at the 48, but still 3rd down and long, 3rd and 13. A minute 47 to play in the first half. No score. Kevin Huddleston wide to the left is to split in. And a fumble at the line of scrimmage. Brindley trying to pick it up. Brindley never got the ball from center Norman Summers, and it looks like Brindley got it. And now on 4th and 13, Brindley will probably have a chance to bury Riverdale deep.
Just had trouble getting the handle on it.
Well, the first rule of quarterbacking, always make sure you have the ball before you do anything else.
When you leave with the ball.
That should be Cliff Ames back for Riverdale. He was the last time. Brindley's kick, high short one to the right side. Does take a Lebanon bounce, and Riverdale's going to leave it alone, and it's going to get a nice Lebanon roll all the way to the 5. Inside the 5 to the 4. I don't know if there are too many natural grass fields that you would have had that roll. And with 43 seconds left,
that ball landed at before the 20-yard line and rolled that far.
Now they're going to mark it at the 3 to see if Dean Fisher has any 97-yard plays up his sleeve, or at least, well, let's say a 50-yarder, and then maybe back-to-back 50-yarders. Well, the clock is still running, so he won't have time but for one play. The teams still have all their timeouts left, and probably the way this half is gone, they'll just go ahead and run out the clock. Bird straight ahead across the 5 to about the 6 or 7 yard line.
So it's Burge on the keeper.
Quarterback keeper.
And let's see. Well, now Lebanon calls a timeout with 14 seconds to play. So I don't know if Mark Medley has something in mind as Ron Marshall, the defensive coordinator, comes out. Be interesting to see if, Lebanon with Riverdale backed up deep in his own territory, maybe Lebanon's not going to try to pull off a big play here defensively.
Maybe not a bad idea. You got them deep in that territory. Anything can happen. You can have a fumble, a misconnection between the center and the quarterback, and another fumble there. Anything could happen right here. You can pick up the ball. You can end up in the end zone. And the way this game's looking right now, it looks like you're going to have to score, and that may be it. One score may do the game here.
When John Portland
Of course, Riverdale not wanting to see a timeout. I think they just want to, this is not where they want to have the ball, and they'd love to see the clock run out. Well, barring another timeout, this will be the final play of the half with 14 seconds to play. Verge again straight ahead, picks up another couple of yards.
Torrance Verge on the keeper once again.
And with 7 seconds left, Lebanon calls another timeout. A 3rd down and 6 coming up for the Warriors. Lebanon has to be hoping for a turnover because if Riverdale manages to hold it through a share of downs, Lebanon's not going to have time for anything anyway. Well, coming up at halftime, we'll have some marching bands for you and hopefully maybe mixed in with some jazz. I don't know. Could be interesting to hear. Have the Lebanon band and probably parts of Riverdale as well.
Something I'm excited about. Between the bands, we're going to talk about Friendship Commander football. That's a new thing with TV 66, and I'm excited about getting in there. I think Friendship's got a good football program, and I think everybody's going to have to enjoy that. I think coming out of District 6A, which is definitely the best Class A district in the state of Tennessee. Some good football.
3rd down and 5 with 7 seconds remaining. This is Barry Sanders. He's going to have the 1st down, and he's in the open field for stumbling across the 20, making sure he stays down. Number 34, Brian Johnson, and we've come to halftime. Well, it's been a defensive struggle. If you're just tuning in wanting offense, you haven't missed anything. Nothing. We'll be back for some marching band activity right after this. Well, in Southern Middle Tennessee, sponsors, Liberty State Bank, Wilson Farmers Co-op, Save-A-Lot, First Bank and Trust, Chums, and the Fashion Boutique. Well, this is just the start of our sports day here on TV 66. Chris, why don't you tell us about it? What's coming up?
Hey, we got Carson Newman and Hillsdale College coming up right after this one. Later on tonight, we got the Mike Ditka Show. That'll be on at 9 p.m. And following that at 9:30, it'll be Redskins Weekly.
And for both the Ditka Show and the Redskins Weekly, the season premiere on TV 66. And Carson Newman, well, they are an NAIA football power. Team you probably don't hear a whole lot about. They're overshadowed in publicity by Tennessee and Vanderbilt, and to a lesser extent by the OVC schools in this area.
Really, Carson Newman's got a very good football program.
Indeed they do. Sonny Warm at the second half kickoff receipt at the 22. With the return, number 2, Corey Avan. He's across the 30. And Riverdale will set up shop 1st down and 10 to start the second half. Well, we don't have halftime statistics for you, but we certainly have to. Numbers cannot be very high for the offense anyway. It's been a defensive-dominated game throughout. Both teams have been in the other's territory, but not very deep.
The only big play, Sanders had the big run there at the very end of the first half, and then Jennings had a big run, about 15 or 20-yard pickup early on in the second quarter, and that's been about it. That's been the big plays.
So 1st down, Riverdale at the 30. Torrance Verge, the quarterback. Again, the wishbone look, but we'll see if they shift out of it. No, they don't. This is Barry Sanders. Wall of blockers in front of him. They don't help him as number 9, Jonathan Haas, just burst through their wedge to make the stop.
Haas got the arm out there and made a good play.
Looked like he just shoved an arm right through the blockers, and a pickup of 2. 2nd down and 8 at the 32.
Haas has made a couple of big hits, good hard hits, really let himself into the running backs tonight. He's done a nice job.
The strong safety lending support to the run. 2nd down and 8. From the 32. Pitch. This is Brian Smith to the left side, trying to turn the corner. There for the stop for the defense, number 45, Kevin Huddleston, the free safety. Ball to the 34, 3rd down and 6. Entering the game for Riverdale, number 9, Andy Sawyer, who's listed as a tight end. As Dean Fisher sends his plays in. Smith now slotted to the right side. Verge drops back, swings it, and incomplete. Sawyer, who just came into the game, the pass was low and a little bit away, and that'll bring up a 4th down. Check the punter. That should be Paul McFarland in to punt for Riverdale. Cyrus Hancock and Sonny Warmoth will drop deep for the Blue Devils. Looks like one of those games, whoever scores first will win it, and it'll probably take one big play to do it. A line drive kick, taken on one hop by Warmoth. He stays in bounds, still on his feet across the 40 and shoved out of bounds at the 41.
That was Hancock.
I'm sorry, who did I say? Warmoth?
You said Warmoth.
Oh,
that was Hancock.
Cyrus I'm sorry. Last year was so much easier because most of the players last year were returning from the year before. About the second or third game, I knew who they all were. At this point, I'm still having to learn all these numbers. Most of the players, I see a number, I still have to check the list. The ball just across the Blue Devil 40. First down and 10. Lebanon's first possession of the second half. Jim Brindley at quarterback, and a false start, and a flag is down. The defense moved, but did not enter the neutral zone, nor did he make contact. That drew a Lebanon lineman offside, and it will go against the Blue Devils. That, I believe, is the first flag against Lebanon tonight, if I'm not mistaken. They had several in the first half last week against Mount Juliet.
Really a penalty-free, quick-moving football game. We're really getting out of here.
Clock stopped with 9:32 to play in the third quarter. Brindley gives to Juan A. Jennings, and he is cut down. A good open field tackle. I believe that's number 25 on the hit, Kevin Herron. Ball at just short of the 39-yard line. Second down and 11. Yes, that is second down. It was a first down play after the penalty.
Kevin Herron on the stop for the Warriors. Second down and 12.
Clay Bueller split to the right side. That's Marcus Stewart, the slot back on the right side. Brindley dropping back, throwing to the right side for Bueller. Just short of midfield. And short of a first down, stop made by Cliff Ames. That'll bring up a third down and 2.
Bueller did a nice job after he got hit. He was able to turn his body and even fall for a couple more yards.
And he also made sure he had the ball. The ball thrown to his side just a little bit, and he made sure he had the ball instead of trying to run with it first.
Made a good adjustment and come back to the ball. Lebanon may want to go to the pass here in the second half. Maybe shake Riverdale's offense up a little bit, open some holes to run through.
Brindley gives it to Jennings, left side. He's got the first down in Riverdale territory to the 41.
Jennings that time just literally carried one of them about 5 yards, and that's a workhorse right there.
Spence Slater, number 45, is the Warrior who got the ride, and bringing him down. Slater should probably charge him a little bit for that ride there. Or maybe Jennings should charge Slater. The ball at the Riverdale 41. Clay Bueller, and he'll be split wide to the right as Huddleston checks out. Cyrus Hancock slotted to the right side. Lebanon out of the I formation. Juan A. Jennings on the trap, gets across the 35.
Looks like Lebanon's come out here in the second half. They're a little bit more intense. The offensive line's really opening some big holes up, and Jennings is running right through them. He's picking up some big yardage.
Kevin Herron on the stop, number 25. The ball at the 34. Second down and about 3. Well, that's been a trademark of Lebanon throughout the Medley years. There have been several times in Medley's first 2 years that Lebanon will have rather sluggish first halves, and Mark will give them a tongue lashing at halftime or make some sort of adjustment, and then in the second half you'll see a different football team. A much more efficient team. Jennings smothered at about the 33. Tommy Johns, number 55, helping ensure the tackle along with a couple of his teammates.
Looks like Riverdale's beginning to get back and adjust to the rush more, and they're making the plays on those now.
That should bring up a fourth down. We'll see. It's 3rd down and 2. Kevin Huddleston split wide to the left. Brindley to Jennings. Left side. Spins out of one tackle and brought down. No gain. Brian Smith, number 7, I believe, was the one who got in there initially and slung him down, and Smith is hobbling now as he comes off the field. Number 7, Smith, one of the Riverdale halfbacks. It is a 4th down and 1 situation for Lebanon. Smith has to leave the field, and
they're going to go for it. 4th and short. You can hear the Lebanon crowd. They're getting up for it.
Well, you're sort of in no man's land in high school football. In the opponent's 30 to 35-yard line, you're too close to punt, but too far out for most high school field goal kickers.
This might be the play that decides who scores. If Lebanon can score here, this might be the turning point in the ball game.
And that will be a 1st down. Jim Brindley has been working on his cadence call. We saw this a lot from Tony Eckler 2 years ago, his first year as a quarterback. And that worked against, I guess, virtually every team Lebanon played that year.
Good job. Smart football right there. Nice call by the coaches. Good job by Brindley.
Of course, Brindley will go something like hut, hut, and they'll go on that higher inflection, but the count is on 3 instead of 2.
That shows a disciplined football team right there.
A very disciplined offensive line, definitely. The ball at the 27. 1st and 10 Blue Devils. Juan A. Jennings to the 19. Chris Fishbag, number 34, with a stop. A good 1st down pickup. 2nd down and 2 after a pickup of 8.
Lebanon looks like they're waking up. They're breaking the holes open and giving room for Jennings to run, and Jennings is hitting the holes and running right through them. Picked up 8 on that one. Now the Lebanon crowd getting into it.
And a good Lebanon crowd. I think there are probably more Lebanon fans here than Riverdale fans. Fullback Rod Crutchfield. Close to a 1st down at the 16. I've already miscalled 1, though. Thought it was a 1st down, and it wasn't. They have it at the 16. It is a 1st down.
1st down.
Next week, Lebanon in its home opener against Lincoln County, a team that eliminated Lebanon in the playoffs last year, and a homecoming for Lewis Thompson, the former Lebanon star and coach, coming back directing the Lincoln County Falcons. And of course, that probably be the first chance many of you get a chance to see the new Mercury Vapor lights on Lebanon's field. Jennings, left side, loses the ball. Picked up by Riverdale at the 16.
Goodbye.
It's defended Brindley is blocked off. Now Jennings from behind catches up with him. Spin Swader picked it up at about the 19 and returned it all the way to the Lebanon 18, and thanks to Juan A. Jennings to save a touchdown. Jennings, who fumbled the ball initially, saves the score, at least for the moment. That could be the momentum turning play for the game.
That might do it. Looked like he was gone there for me. They got about the midfield, and it looked like he just started running out of gas. He couldn't make it all the way.
Well, he had Brindley in front of him, but about 3 blockers between. It looked like Brindley at first was the only man who could make the stop. But Brindley was shielded off by about 3 blockers, but Jennings came from behind. 1st and 10 Riverdale at the Lebanon 18 following the turnover. Torrance Burge. This is Barry Sanders around the right side. Inside the 10 to the 5. Kevin Huddleston in on the stop for Lebanon. Also Brian Johnson.
Right there.
They'll mark it at the 6.
Right there you saw what Lebanon was doing. Riverdale did right there. They made a big hole. Sanders hit it and did a nice job. Got a couple yards off of that one.
Well, in this case, Riverdale probably fired up after that turnover. Lebanon may be down a little bit.
Definitely.
This is a situation 2 years ago. Riverdale would have self-destructed it. At least it did against Lebanon several times. It is a 1st down and goal at the 6. Man in motion for Riverdale. Andy Sawyer now lined up to the right side. Torrance Burge gets the play off. This is Sanders. That time, Jonathan Haas there to make the stop. Also, Rod Crutchfield at the 4. Well, last year, it took Lebanon until their 5th game to trail in a contest. Riverdale trying to do it in the second week. The ball at the 3. Second down and goal. Keeps it. Brought down in the open field. Sonny Warmoth with an ankle tackle back at about the 6. Big play by the Lebanon defensive end.
Good job by Warmoth. He got in there, got back in the offensive backfield, and did a nice job of keeping the quarterback back there with him and made a nice play.
Now the clock is stopped. A timeout called by Riverdale. Their first timeout of the second half. 1:55 to play in the third quarter. Third down and goal from the 7. Dean Fisher trying to make sure he gets the right play called here. This is the closest either team has come to scoring tonight.
This right here is going to be big for Lebanon. If Lebanon can really buckle down and make a nice play here and hold them, at least keep them out of the end zone, they're still going to have a good shot to get in this ball game. The way it's going right now, it's a defensive struggle, and if a touchdown is scored, it's going to be hard to get back on the board.
That's right. Even if Riverdale just gets a field goal, Lebanon cannot feel too badly about it, considering where the Warriors started this drive from, what there is of a drive.
Much rather be 3 down than 7, or even 8.
This is where Ron Marshall and his defense, well, for Ron Marshall anyway, is earning his money. I don't believe the players are.
Hope not.
If they are, I think the TSSAA might be interested. But in any event, Ron Marshall's defense has thrown a lot of shutouts in his 2 years. This is a case here where you're a baseball pitcher. This will be like having a man on third with nobody out.
Now the crowd's getting into it.
Cyrus Hancock trying to sort the defense and the crowd, and it's working. Of course, the Riverdale fans are helping. It's just as big a play for them. Third down and 7. Third down and goal from the 7. Brian Smith back in the lineup. Slotted to the right side. Inside handoff has a hole. Is he in?
Looks like they stopped him just short.
Just
they did.
Big play for the Devils. Did you see who made the tackle?
I'm not sure. There was about 4 or 5 white jerseys there.
4th and goal from the 1-foot line. A big play for the Devils that time. Now an even bigger play for Dean Fisher as he calls his second timeout with 1.5 minutes to play in the third quarter. It looked like Smith had a big hole. It's coming back from his wing-back position. Had the trap. Looked like he had the hole, and somebody just grabbed his ankle. Part of Smith, I think, was across the goal line, but the ball wasn't, and that's the important thing.
Looked like one Blue Devil made an initial hit, and about 4 or 5 were able to get there in a hurry and make the stop before he could kind of crawl into the end zone. Nice job by Lebanon defense. They passed the first test. Right here's the big one right here. 4th down and less than a yard.
It would be interesting if Burge doesn't try the same trick cadence call that Brindley did a few moments ago. Of course, you can't score on a penalty, but it would give them 4 new downs. And it would make Dean Fisher breathe a little bit easier.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Burge keep it and go right over the center. We're fixing to find out, though. Definitely right here, the biggest play of the football game so far.
Jimbo Daniel, the center, leads the Warriors up to the line of scrimmage. The crowd on both sides gets into it. Burge straight ahead, touchdown. To play in the third quarter. Burge gives Riverdale a 3-0 lead, set up by a fumble recovery and returned by Spence Slater of better than 50 yards, I would say, or close to it. to set Riverdale up at about the 11 and 18.
George kept it, went right over the middle. That's your best bet. Did a nice job and got in the end zone.
I'm trying to read the number of the kicker. I believe that's Jarrett Millsap's number 68, who's going to try to kick the extra point. Burge will hold. A straight ahead kicker. Millsap's a lineman by trade. Kick is up. No good. It was a line drive, but slashed to the right. So Riverdale on top, 6-0. Well, that will help Lebanon some. That the fact that it's not 7, but instead 6. Well, Lebanon has a quarter plus 128 to try to even it up. And if they won't get down on themselves too much, that last drive before the fumble, looked like they were really starting to assert themselves on the line.
Looked like they really woke up early right there, and they were really moving the ball well, and everything was just working out fine. But the fumble, it looked like they took the air out of them there for just a second. Hopefully Lebanon can come back and get their heads back on and really play well.
Mark Medley tried to tell the offense, forget the turnover, forget the score. Let's remember the good things we did on that drive. Juan A. Jennings back deep for the Blue Devils. He'll receive Millsap's kick. Jennings back at his own 9-yard line.
Lebanon definitely being tested here. Probably were not tested all that much against Mount Juliet last week, but this is definitely a very good football game, and Lebanon is we're going to find out what they're made of. If they can really buckle down right here and come back and recover from that turnover.
Well, Mount Juliet did drive the ball to the 11 and 20 several times last week, but came up short on 4th down, but they never got it to the 1. Jennings from the 6. Out of bounds at the 30. They'll spot it just short of the 32-yard line, so not a bad return, although probably not good enough for the Lebanon coaches in the booth just to our right. We felt a little vibration coming from there.
Some fists were hitting some tables. They wanted a block, but it wasn't there, and they didn't get it. One block could have opened it up.
Now they'll spot it just across the 30, so Lebanon 69.5 yards away from the end zone with 1:21 to play in the third quarter. So one thing for Lebanon, you have to remember, still plenty of time for the Blue Devils. Friendly, this is Jennings. Give it right back to him, and he is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. The first one there, number 55, Tommy Johns. Johns, with his name being called a lot, 55, right in the middle of much of the action from his linebacker spot. Still about a 1-yard pickup. Didn't look like he gained that much, but they moved the stick 1 yard ahead. Clock ticking down, 50 seconds remaining in the third period. 6-0 Riverdale.
Lebanon needs to open up the offense and really make or at least attempt to make a good play, maybe open up Riverdale and spread them across the field.
And Jennings again, and again it's Tommy Johns. This time it's a loss back to the 30. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 11.
Jennings never had a chance to get started there. Riverdale was already in the offensive backfield, and Jennings just never had a chance to get started.
Mark Medley, meanwhile, talking to Kevin Huddleston, sending the play in. Coming out is Clay Bueller. Be interesting to see if the play has Huddleston's number on it. But we'll probably have to wait till the fourth quarter. Clock is ticking down. 6 seconds, 5. Huddleston and Hancock to the right side, but they won't get it off. That's the third quarter. Riverdale has drawn first blood, leading at 6-0. We'll be back for the final 12 minutes right after this. We start the fourth quarter. Lebanon with a 3rd down and 11 from the Riverdale 30. Jim Brindley drops back. It's a screen play. Complete on the left side. It's to the first down and then some. I think it's Juan A. Jennings down the far side, and he gets the first down to the 47. That's the first time Lebanon has run that play tonight. They'll mark it at the 46.
I said during the break that they needed to do something like that. They needed to pass the ball. Give Riverdale's defense spread out and give somewhere to run. They can do both the run and the pass if they'll just spread the defense out a little more. think if they can pass the ball, they can spread Riverdale open up more, and they can make a bigger play.
Sonny Warmoth into the game at tight end. It's Warmoth, Skeen, and Moscardelli alternating at tight ends, and Warmoth in at the moment on the left side. Brindley drops back. He's going to throw it again. Right side, complete to Clay Bueller at the 47, across the 45. Jukes his way. Still on his feet. Loses the ball, but recovered by Lebanon. Credit Brian Harvey, number 54, with being at the right place at the right time. Disaster almost struck for the second time.
You lose that ball, it's over. Give credit to Bueller. Bueller did a nice job, made a couple of good cuts right there, and really picked up a lot more yardage than he would have. Good play by Bueller, but the hit almost knocked the ball out.
Bueller, a 5'8", 160-pound junior. He is a transfer student, moved in from Greenville, Tennessee. Showing some good moves that time there. Moved in and out of traffic, and credit Brian Harvey. He just saved the day for the Devils. Ryan Crutchfield straight ahead. Gets about 4 or 5 down to the 27.
Now we see the Lebanon offense really moving the ball well. If they can just get down there.
Well, they've had a couple of big plays now, so they're feeling good about themselves again and asserting themselves, much like they were early in the third quarter before the fumble. Bueller comes out. Kevin Huddleston comes in with a play.
The big plays make you forget about the turnovers.
Huddleston split wide to the left. Hancock slided to the left side. Moscardelli tight end lined up to the right side. Crutchfield straight ahead across the 30 to the 29. Number 75, Lamont Watson, helping bring down the Blue Devil ball carrier. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 3. Jonathan Haas leaves the game. Check the Lebanon receivers. Huddleston, Hancock. Looks like, no, that's Sonny Warmoth, 36. It's lined up as a tight end. Brindley fakes, now gives to Hancock and drops it, picks it up, and is in big trouble. Loses yardage back to the 40. Hancock dropped a swing pass last week against Mount Juliet. It was behind the line of scrimmage, so it was still live, but he was alert enough to pick it up and make a big play of it. At that time, he picked it up and just had no chance. Riverdale right there.
Looking back at it, it might have been better off if he just fell on it right there.
4th down and 14, and now Lebanon, which is a couple of big plays already, needs another one. Bueller back in, Huddleston leaves. The Blue Devils with the ball just short of the Riverdale 34. They need to get to the 21, and a timeout called by Riverdale.
Timeout. Riverdale.
That will leave the Warriors with just with no timeouts remaining for the final 9:16. So, of course, as long as Riverdale has the lead, it won't really matter that much. But Lebanon should tie it or even go ahead, and Riverdale has the ball late. The loss of timeouts could really hurt the Warriors.
Right down there in good position, and that really hurt them. That has really hurt them. 9:16 left. It could be hard to get back down there.
Well, it's a game like this Lebanon needs. A close game that they pull out late. Last year, they went 9-2, but all of the wins were blowouts or near blowouts that were all but decided by the fourth quarter. The 2 close games Lebanon was in, they lost. And I think if Lebanon is looking ahead, if they should advance to the playoffs for a 3rd straight year, if Lebanon is going to advance in the playoffs, they have to learn to win the close ones, and they haven't done that in 2 years. I think one thing Mark Medley did this year to help that, he's upgraded the schedule and some stronger non-district opponents like a Lincoln County and a Stratford. May not get 9 wins again, but they may end up a better football team anyway. Brindley drops back. He fakes. He's going to throw down the middle. No, actually to the left side for Hancock. It's batted away. Number 81, Cliff Ames, got a paw up there and knocked it away from Hancock. May have been underthrown a little bit. Hancock turned around and was waiting for it, and that gave Ames a chance. He saw where Hancock was expecting the ball. He just jumped up and knocked it away.
Good play by the junior Ames. He just stretched his body out, got his hand up there and knocked the ball away. Great defensive play right there.
defense is going to have to come through again. Riverdale with the ball on downs at the 34 with 9:09 to play.
Defense has got to come through right here.
They may have to tackle the football. Still a lot of time left. Lebanon with all 3 timeouts remaining. We'll see if it's time for them to tackle the football or not. Riverdale has not fumbled the football yet. This is Barry Sanders. Gets it to about the 36. Richard Moscardelli there for Lebanon. Also there, number 76, Kevin Douglas. Name we haven't called out very much, number 77, Jody Ambruster, defensive tackle. The Warriors shutting him off from the play most of the night.
Ambruster really the big man on the defensive team. Nicknamed the Bruiser.
But you see him without his helmet. He's a big guy, but he's a nice kid. Doesn't look particularly menacing.
Very quiet, very to himself.
Brian Smith on his slide back. Out to the 39, and now he gets up. He's hobbling earlier, and he is again. I don't know how much longer he can stay out there. It looks like an ankle problem. Cliff Ames comes in, but he's coming in for Andy Sawyer with a play. It's not for an injury. The ball just shy of the 39. 3rd down and 5. 7:55 to play. He's going to keep it, rolls left, and brought down Marcus Stewart. Great play of reading it. Birch faked, hit the ball off behind his left hip, but Marcus Stewart read it, stayed home, and made the good open field tackle. That'll bring up 4th down. Lebanon will get another shot. 4th and 5 with 7:25 remaining. And Lebanon with 3 timeouts. Clay Bueller this time back on punt coverage along with Cyrus Hancock. Back to punt for Riverdale, Paul McFarland. And the Blue Devils let it drop. Bueller picks it up at the 18. That could have been disaster there, but he returns it to the 25.
Looks like a face mask on that play.
I'm wondering, though, do you think the receiver should have tried to catch that on the fly instead of letting it bounce? Yeah, they seem to land between the two.
Maybe a little mix-up back there, a little confusion of who wanted to take it.
Well, normally it's Warmoth back on the punt return with Hancock. This is, I believe, Bueller's first trip back there, so probably not used to being together back there. But Lebanon with a chance. 1st and 10, 75 yards away with 6:40 to play. 6-0 Riverdale. Lebanon's turnovers have hurt them. Pass is complete to Huddleston, left flat. And a good open field tackle by Cliff Ames.
Ames has been quiet all night. He's come on, made 2 good plays. That was a good play right there.
The ball at the 33. Still a pickup of 8 on the play, 2nd down and 2.
Lebanon not in bad shape.
Jennings, left side, brought down in the open field, 34, Chris Fishback with the stop. Looked like Jennings had room for a 1st down, but Fishback came out of the pile and just stuck him.
Jennings couldn't get around him, couldn't get around the corner and pick it up.
3rd down and 1. The ball just shy of the 34.
I'd like to see Crutchfield on this one.
I wouldn't be too surprised, or Brinley, just straight ahead. Almost, yes he did. The nose tackle that time moved. Kenneth James. That'll be be the second first down. Brindley has, shall we say, talked his way to a first down.
Really done a nice job with that one. If it works, you don't quit using it.
Well, as I mentioned, Tony Eckler last year doing just about, again, I guess all of Lebanon's opponents, but then last year it didn't work. I think they were expecting that from him. The ball at the 39, the first down. 5 minutes to play. Riverdale leading 6-0. Riverdale with a man trying to get off the field if Lebanon can snap it, but he gets off the field in time. I think that was Bullers trying to get off. In the pass, underthrown to Clay Beeler, hit the turf. I'm not sure. Brindley may have been trying to just get rid of it before he took the loss.
Beeler was there, but he was open. Could have made a big play out of it. Pass wasn't there for Beeler to catch it, though.
He didn't turn around, and the pass was also thrown behind him. I wasn't really watching Brindley that closely, which leads me to believe he probably he was forced to hurry that throw off. 2nd and 10. Hancock, flank to the left. Brindley dropping back, right side, and right through the hands of Kevin Huddleston at the 44. Would have still been about 5 yards short of a first down, but who knows what much yardage he could have made after he caught the ball.
Brindley's doing the job. That's what they want to do. They want to try and pass the ball. Passes work so far tonight, but when your receivers don't catch the ball, you're not going to get anything. And that's nothing going to hurt it.
Clay Beeler will come out wide to the right. Now, Beeler, Crutchfield, and Jennings all split out to the right side. It's going to be a swing pass for Beeler. He's going to throw it. Deep down, Warner. See you later. 61 yards. Clay Beeler to Sonny Warmoth, and that's what I saw them work on yesterday in practice.
That is it. That's what's going to happen. Good job by Lebanon. Nice call by the coaching staff. Great pass by Beeler. He hit him right on a run. He had it wide open after that. Give credit to Beeler. That was a great throw.
4:35 to play. Lebanon with his two running backs to the right side to provide protection for Beeler to throw it, and he threw a strike to Warmoth, who was wide open. Now Justin Ussery will pick the point after. Beeler will hold. This to give Lebanon the lead, and it's good.
Got it.
Was that ball tipped at the line of? It looked like it might have been. It was a line drive.
It looked like it was either tipped or he got underneath it or something, but it looked like it almost died.
Meanwhile, a Riverdale player in agony, number 45, Spence Swader, on the turf at the 10-yard line.
Swader might have been the one that got in there.
Looked like it's his leg. But if Lebanon can win the game this way, it's really going to do worlds of for their confidence, particularly when teams like Lincoln County, Stratford, and particularly Oakland later on.
Lebanon definitely showed what they've got. They showed they've got enough courage and they can really get in there and get back into the football game. After the fumble, it looked like the air had just come right into Lebanon, and they really had nothing going for them. They put their heads back on. They took the ball down the field on that one. Did a great job. Got the touchdown out of it.
Not just a fumble, but you remember later on they had a drive, and then Hancock fumbled it, and the big loss, and Lebanon lost the ball on downs. But Lebanon starting from about their 25-yard line. It was a 75-yard drive, and Mark Medley going to the back pages of his playbook for the trick.
The player's still down.
Yes, Ushery set to kick, but we're not going to do anything until they can get Swader off the field. And he was really in agony. Of course, we can't see him very well now. The coaches and training staff hovering over him. They do have an ambulance here. I see someone walking in that general direction. We saw several Mountain Juliet players go down with injuries in the fourth quarter last week. Of course, we talked about Mountain Juliet. For a AAA school, they are undermanned in terms of quantity of the number of players. But none of those injuries last week were serious. This one could be.
Looks like he was in a lot of pain, and they're not moving him right now.
Well, now it looks like they're trying to get him up. He's sitting up now. I think they're going to try to get him up now. Swader, 5'10", 179-pound junior. He's not limping.
It is just a little bit on the humid side. He might even have a cramp in that leg. That might have been it. It is a little bit on the humid side out here tonight, a little bit sticky.
Justin Usry will kick off, so it's Usry kicking off and not Warmoth. Back deep for Riverdale, Brian Smith at his 9, and there's another receiver at the 12, and I can't get his number. That's too bad. No, it is going to be Brian who drops it, picks it up at his 2. That's Ames. The other receiver's going to try to block for him. Doesn't do the job, and the tackle, 83, Wayman Winfrey, holding Smith until he can get some help. Riverdale will start at the 13.
Winfrey did that one by himself. He really started it off. 6 foot, 167-pound sophomore. Good play by him.
On the special teams, well, he did bring him down by himself, but he grabbed him and held him until he could get some help. And
that's all the coach can ask from you.
4:25 to play. Riverdale trailing 7-6. Well, this could be a test of Riverdale's field goal kicking game if they can get it down, let's say, inside the 20. But they are a good 62 yards away from that right now.
We've got ourselves a football game right here.
Torrance Burge at quarterback. This is Barry Sanders from the wing position. Jonathan Haas there with the stop. Haas, there's some applause not only from the far stands, but also in the booth next to us.
Haas, that's 3 big licks he's put on him. I mean, hard hits. We can hear him up here.
Cliff Ames checks into the Riverdale lineup as Corey Aban leaves. 2nd down and 9, a 1-yard pickup. Clock ticking down inside 3.5 minutes to play. Riverdale with no timeouts left, so this is why they're calling the timeouts earlier, is hurting them now. Lebanon with 3 timeouts. I don't think you'll see Lebanon spending any. Burge is going to throw. Through the hands of Barry Sanders, just a little bit high, because if he caught the ball, Marcus Stewart was there ready to pop him. That'll bring up
a nice job, put some heat on him right there. Made Sanders think about who was behind him.
The throw a little bit high, but it was catchable. 3rd down and 9 from the 19. Clock is stopped with 3:09 to play. Mentioning Lebanon home next week for Lincoln County, Riverdale goes on the road to play Laverne at the brand new Freedom Field. I think Riverdale may welcome the chance to see Laverne, a 2nd-year school, still looking for the first win in its history, unless they somehow won last night. The pass deflected. It may have hit a lineman. I'm not sure. And Andy Sawyer there on the left side. Also Barry Sanders, and it hit somebody in the line. I don't know if it was a blocker or a defensive lineman. And that'll bring up a 4th down and 9. Cliff Ames back in with a play for Riverdale. Andy Sawyer checks out.
I feel like Burge wanted to hit Sawyer, but he just threw it, and it looked like one of the offensive linemen might have backed up, and it hit him right in the back. Tough break.
I'm not sure if it wasn't Scott Daniel, number 35, the fullback, in there to provide protection. Oh, this is it for Riverdale. 4th and 9 with 3:05 to play. And with no timeouts left, Lebanon will run out the clock if they can get the ball here. Burge. This is Smith. He's going to throw back if he can. Now he's going to throw a forward pass. And is it complete? Yes, it is. Russ Hicks, number 86, makes the catch at the 23. He had to make a diving catch. Is it a first down, though? It's going to be close.
We're going to measure. They're going to measure right here.
It was a 4th down and 9. It may not be a first down anyway. Like you say, they are going to measure. The ball at about the 23.
Good job there by Riverdale. Looked like they were stuck. Had nowhere to go. It was a busted play, but they made something out of it.
That's right. I think Smith was going to throw back to Burge to throw again, but then the Lebanon defenders got in his way, and he just threw the ball, and first down, Lebanon. As Larry Grissom lets out a big hoop and holler in the booth next door. We may have heard that one over the mics. And with 2:55 to play, Riverdale with no timeout, so Lebanon's main job right here is to protect the football and maybe get one first down. Lebanon in real good scoring position, but they don't need to here, or shouldn't need to.
That's all I got to do. Just hang on to the football right now. Clock's running, under 3 minutes.
Crutchfield and Jennings back of Brindley. They figure to be holding the ball, although right now Huddleston and Hancock out to the left side. Now Richard Moscardelli will shift to the left side as well. That would make, well, Moscardelli would be ineligible in that case. Doesn't matter. Brindley straight ahead to the 16.
I think you're right, Andy. I think they're going to go for the first down, and if they get a score, they get a score. But I think they want the first down right now. That way they can just run the clock out, use 8 plays up, and go for it.
If they do get the first down, we'll probably just see them fall on the football because Riverdale cannot stop the clock.
Brindley got 5 on that one. It's 2nd and 5.
Marcus Stewart in with the play. Cyrus Hancock leaves. Huddleston's put wide to the left. Stewart to the right. Brindley straight ahead. Picks up a couple inside the 15. That'll bring up about a 3rd and 1.
Lebanon can pick up the first down here. You can pack it up because it's over. We're down to a minute and a half and below.
The clock will stop on a first down for change of possession, but then they'll start it right up again as soon as the chains are moved. Brindley this time pitches back to Jennings, right side. Don't think he gets the first down.
Looks like he's just short.
That'll bring up a 4th down. Even if Riverdale should somehow get the ball, it'd be well less than a minute left. And Riverdale's biggest play thus far has been on defense, recovering a fumble and moving that. 4th down and 1 for the Blue Devils from the 14. Clay Bueller coming in. Bueller, the big play man, as Kevin Huddleston comes off.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Brindley just keep this one. Go right up the middle and run that clock.
Quarterback sneak, a play that has worked big for Lebanon last couple of years. Instead, it's Crutchfield straight ahead. I think he gets the first down. Mark it at the 12.
That'll do it.
Now the radio station, if they have turn out the lights, it'd be an appropriate time for them to play that one. 25 seconds left. Scheme comes out. I think Lebanon will just fall on the football one time, and that'll be all. Moscardelli in with the play. Crutchfield and Jennings lined up behind Brindley in the I formation. 6 seconds left. And Brindley drops on it at the 16, and that's it.
A sigh of relief comes next door to us where the coaching staff is. Great game by Lebanon right here. They really come back, played well after the fumble. The 2 fumbles really show what they were made of and scored from that touchdown.
A big win, and Lebanon needed to win one just like this. We'll be back in just a moment with a school. And Lebanon will have the play-by-play.